Now, what are the contraindications and safety after ACL reconstruction to test and train the isokinetically? So absolute contraindication are obviously the acute muscle strain. We can't test and we can't train. Acute ligament or capsular strain. Yes, in the initial stages of the injury, we can't use this isokinetic testing and training. If patient is having a severe pain and effusion, so we will not test and train. Poor range of motion, obviously. So we have to set a range of motion for the training and testing. So we required a range of motion to be full. Now there should not be instability because we are testing and training with the higher speed as well. So instability is an absolute contraindication. Now there are relative contraindications which we should take consider. Subacute strain, if there is any muscle which is having a subacute strain, there is a moderate effusion around the joint, we can see a swelling and the effusion, and if there are range of motion restricted. Now moving onwards, we will see what are the testing recommendations for an isokinetic testing. Now the first and foremost, very important, we should test uninvolved limb first. To familiar this testing to the athletes or to the patient, we should first test uninvolved limb, as uninvolved limb is the strongest compared to the operated leg. So we first test uninvolved limb first. Now in the initial phase of the rehab or in the initial 3 to 6 months, avoid 0 to 30-degree extension range early because it reduces because if we take a 0 to 30 degrees of extension, it increases the anterior tibial translation. If we avoid 0 to 30 degrees of extension in the training and the testing, which reduces anterior tibial translation. Now isometric testing, so this is very important question. Many of the students ask that how we can start a testing and the training isokinetically after the ACL reconstruction. So first 6 weeks of the ACL reconstruction, we give a normal rehabilitation, reduces the pain, reduces the swelling to gain the range of motion and to activate the muscles. So we can test a quadriceps of the hamstring muscles isometrically at 6 week post-op. So till 6 week post-op, we should not test isokinetically. Also at 6 week, we should take the full range of motion. There should not be a swelling. We should see the any if there is any contraindications. Now isokinetic testing, that is a speed related testing, we can check between 2 to 3 months from 30 to 90 degree. Again, till 3 months, we will not go beyond 30 degrees of extension. Now speed. Now we already discussed that there are multiple speed variation in the isokinetic unit. So start from 30 degrees per second to moving onward to the 300 and 500 degrees per second. Now in the initial phase of the rehabilitation, we should start testing in the medium to maximum speed. So we should start testing and training an athlete or any patient after ACL reconstruction with 60 degrees per second speed to 90 degree per second speed to 120 degrees per second speed. We can gradually increase the speed, but the initial stage of the rehab, we should take the medium. Then limb symmetry index is important criteria for the many criteria based rehabilitation. Nowadays, if you see a research, ACL reconstruction, the rehabilitation and the return to sport journey, which is not a time based. The ACL reconstruction journey should be based on criteria based rehabilitation. For these criteria, this isokinetic testing is recommended. Now we get a data of the limb symmetry index. So on that limb symmetry index data, we can progress an athlete or the patient to the further activities. Now testing speeds and purpose. Now we already see there are multiple speeds. Now what are the advantages of this speed? Now with the low speed, there's a 60 degrees per second speed, we can get a maximum state. As speed of the movement is reduced, we have to apply a maximum force to match that speed. Once the speed goes increasing, like a speed which is moderate, 120 degrees per second to 180 degrees per second, we can check strength as well as endurance because this is higher speed. So we can check a strength and the endurance. With the higher speed, which is 240 degrees per second to 300 degrees per second, we can check a power and the neuromotor control. Now, why neuromotor control? Because at that fast speed, athlete's body or athlete's knee should match that speed. And this speed is very high. If you see the testing, which is 300 degrees per second, which is very high speed. Now, these high speed training or testing we usually done in the sports population because they require a fast activities, fast movement, and fast muscle. So in this case, their muscle should contract or should activate in this fast speed to match that speed and to match that resistance. Okay, so these are the different testing speeds and these are the purposes. Now, after testing, what are the training recommendations? So once we test an athlete or the person with an ACL reconstruction at 6 weeks for isometric testing, we can start a training isometrically in the mid-range to activate the muscles. So how we can progress? So we should start first training isometrically. So according to the research, 60 degrees at the 60 degrees of knee flexion, we can get a maximum quadriceps contraction. So we test and train isometrically in the 60 degrees of the knee extension. So we first starts with isometric training. Once isometric training is painless, we can move forward to the isotonic and isokinetic training. Now after isometric, we can start a short arc isokinetics, preventing a last 30 degrees of the extension. Then after 3 to 4 months, once he is totally fine and totally stable, we can go a full arc isokinetic training as well as testing. After this, we can go for the power training, power testing, and then moving forward to the functional task. So this should be a progression. For each progression, the previous test should be a painless. Then we can go moving forward. Now use velocities in the multiples of 30 degrees per second to utilize a strengthening overflow. So we already discussed that 30 degrees per second, 60 degrees per second, 90 degrees per second and 120 degrees per second. So we can have a range of the velocities in the multiple of 30 degrees per second. Now in the fast velocity isokinetic, which recruits a fast twitch muscle fiber essential for the sports. As we already discussed that fast velocity training we usually done in the sports population because they require a fast twitching muscle fiber for their velocity related training and the sports demand. So fast velocity isokinetic we use in the sports rehabilitation patients to recruit their fast twitch muscle fibers. Now here are two examples of an isokinetic training. So we can see a different speed and we can see they are moving their knee with a fixed speed. Now here the advantage of this fixed velocity, that velocity will not be changed if you are applying a more and more force. Now in this, why this is important? Because the speed is constant. We can apply a maximum amount of torque, maximum amount of the force in that range. So we can use our muscle to its fullest capacity in the isokinetic training. If we do isotonic or the gym related training, if we apply 5 kg of the weight for the dynamic quadriceps activation, this whole range of motion, the resistance will be constant, that is 5 kilogram. But in the case of isokinetic training, if we apply a 60 degrees per second speed, athlete can apply a maximum force to match that speed and to move the limb forward. Okay, so these are the two examples. We can see how the isokinetic training is going on. Okay, this is just one example. Now, there are again a good evidence. This article is effect of eccentric isokinetic exercises on the muscle strength and the functional recovery after anterior cruciate ligament reconstruction. So in the isokinetic training, we can get both the training parameters, concentric as well as concentric eccentric. As we know the concentric and eccentric concept. In the concentric mode, flexion and extension, both the muscles, the quadriceps and hamstring contract concentrically in the speed of varying speed, 30 degrees, 60 degree, 90 degree. But if we put a mode concentric eccentric for a particular muscles, for example, quadriceps. So while going up extension, quadriceps contract concentrically, and while machine moves the leg down, athlete has to resist that quadriceps. Athlete has to resist that limb to go into the flexion. So the quadriceps will active eccentrically. So this is called concentric eccentric isokinetic training. Now this study suggests that this study compared basically the eccentric and concentric isokinetic training. So in this study, they divided the athletes into two groups. One group gives an concentric eccentric training and one group gives concentric training. In the patients with 4 to 6 months after ACL reconstruction, 36 patients trained weekly for 6 weeks. So this is 6 week program. The study conclude that eccentric isokinetic exercises is more effective for rebuilding the knee strength and the functions after ACL surgery and should be included in the standard rehabilitation program. So again, as we already discussed, that isokinetic training or testing is a research-based or the reliable method of testing and training. So this is again one article, which is good article, which suggests that eccentric isokinetic exercises are more beneficial than the other any exercises. So we should add concentric eccentric isokinetic exercises in a population like an athletic population. But this eccentric training we should apply after 4 to 6 months or between the 4 to 6 months. So this is the study. Now return to sports decision making. Now already seen that isokinetic, we can test isokinetically, we can train isokinetic. Now, current rehabilitation program or current guidelines suggest that return to sport journey or return to sports criteria should be criteria based and not basis on the time based rehabilitation. Now, HQ ratio should be within the normative range. Now, there are many conflict between the HQ ratio. What should be the HQ ratio for the return to sports? Some studies says it should be 2:1. Now, the recent study shows that for return to sports, the hamstring is to quadricep ratio should be 1:1. So there are varying studies which suggest the hamstring is to quadricep ratio can be 2:1 to 1:1. So if we want a hamstring is to quadricep ratio for an athlete who is willing to return to sports, we first test him at 60 degrees per second and 180 degrees per second isokinetically, and we see a peak torque of the quadriceps and hamstring. We should get a ratio which should be within the normative range for safely going return to sports. Now, angle specific torque should be normalized. First, we see that isometric testing at 60 degrees per second. So we should compare right versus left or affected versus unaffected legs peak torque at a specific angle, say 60 degrees of knee flexion. And we should see a 90 to 95% of the symmetry of the quadriceps contraction for going return to sports. Now, limb symmetry index, which should be greater than 80% for a quadriceps strength for returning to running. As we already discussed that in case of sports person, return to running is very basic and the fundamental criteria should be achieved within 3 months. But if an athlete is not able to generate a quadriceps force greater than 80% at 3 months, he is not ready to return to running. So for return to running safely after ACL reconstruction, limb symmetry index should be greater than 80% for the quadriceps strength. Now, isokinetic quadriceps and the hamstring peak torque at 60 degrees per second should display 100% symmetry for return to high demand pivoting sports such as football. So this is 1:1 ratio at 60 degrees per second, which is medium speed. Okay. Now, other functional tests are also important with the isokinetic testing, because isokinetic testing and training are correlating with the functional testing. So what are the other functional testing we are considering for the return to sports journey or return to sports for an athlete? So first criteria, there should not be any pain or swelling around the affected leg for going return to sports. Knee range of motion should be full. So if an athlete 8 to 9 months post-op, he is willing to going return to sports, but still he has a limited last 20 degrees of knee range of motion. He is not ready to go to return to sports because knee range of motion should be full for going safely return to sports. Now there are many functional testing we can see in the image. Single leg hop for distance, triple hop for the distance, crossover over hop for the distance, and so these are the three testing. So in the first, we can see a single leg hop for the distance. So we check unaffected leg first. Athlete has to hop single leg, and we can check a distance of the affected versus unaffected leg. Now this distance should match a 95% of the symmetry for going return to sports. Same applies to the triple hop test for a distance. So athletes hop thrice, and we check distance from the initial line. We compare left versus right. Now crossover hop for the distance. For the sports like pivoting and twisting sports, this is crossover hop is very important. Now consider we test an athlete who is 9 months post-op. Now his isokinetic testing and isometric testing shows 90 to 95% of symmetry for the quadriceps testing. Good. For according to criteria, he's able to return to sports. But while doing the functional testing, if his affected legs distance for the single leg hop, triple hop, or the crossover hop is not matching a 90 to 95% of symmetry compared to the contralateral limb, he's not ready. So here functional testing are also important. Uh, with the isokinetic training and isokinetic testing. So we should consider the functional testing as well. Now, athlete should complete the sport specific training before directly going to the sports. Okay, so sport specific training with the isokinetic testing or training is very important. Now, the last but not least, but very, very, very important criteria for return to sports is psychological readiness. If athlete fulfill every functional testing, athlete fulfill, sorry, this is please cut. Psychological readiness. If athlete fulfill every functional test, athlete fulfill the criteria for return to sports, but he has some fear, he is not ready psychologically, then this is the risk for re-injury. So the psychological readiness is very important for an after ACL reconstruction and ACL injury to return to sports. So these are the things. Okay. Thank you so much. So thank you so much. I would like to thank Dr. Parag Sanchite sir, Mrs. Manisha Sangvi ma'am, and the Physio TV team for giving me this opportunity to present this topic. And thank you so much.
It was a very great session by Dr. Vedant. Thank you so much, sir.